Shalom, this is Yah is Magnified, and I'm back with another informative video. Today's video is titled, We Wrestle Not Against Flesh and Blood. But before I tackle this subject, as always, I must state for the record, I'm not a lawyer, I do not practice law, and I do not pretend to. All my videos are for informational and educational purposes only. They're all facts and all truth. Nothing more, nothing less. So with that being said, I would like for you all to hit that like button. And also, if you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell so you all can be notified as I'm dropping these powerful videos. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this video is because it has been placed in my heart to let you all know who is in fact your true enemy. Okay, majority of the time, as we do these videos, I always keep it strictly on child support. But guys, it's way bigger than this, okay? Child support is just one of the many mechanisms used by your enemy in order to what? To destroy you and your family. And it's just that simple, guys. Majority of people, when child support starts, either the mother or the father goes down to the agency and applies for services, right? No matter which ones applies for services, once one applies for services, the other one automatically gets mad at the other one, and boom, you have a dispute going on, such as controversy. Once that controversy is entered into the public, aka the court steps in now to do what it's meant to do, and that's what? To divide the family. That's why child support falls under what? Family division, all right? Which is what? Falls underneath the purpose of the goal of your enemy. All right, your enemy is bigger than just child support. Again, child support is one of the many mechanisms used in order to trap you and your family, or to destroy you and your family as a whole. All right, so now, as you all can see on the screen, we are in fact coming from BibleGateway.com. All right, we're going to pick this up at Ephesians chapter 6, but we're coming from the King James Version. All right, but after we read the King James Version, we're going to read the Geneva Bible version as well, so we can get an understanding. Because as the scripture says, out of the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let each matter be established, okay? So now, let's pick this up at Ephesians 6, chapter 12. Okay, let's get some true understanding and some real learning, guys. As I stated before, this has been placed on my heart, so I must do this. And it states what? 12. We in verse 12. Highlighted in blue right here. And it states, we wrestle not against flesh and blood. Okay, so we wrestle not against flesh and blood, guys. Then who are we wrestling against? Let's continue reading. But against what? Principalities. We're going to go over this word, principalities. Let's continue on, though. Against powers. Who have powers? Those above. But let's continue on. And against what? Rulers of the darkness of this world. So this sentence alone will let you know, or this statement alone should let you know, that this is not just a spiritual warfare. This is a spiritual warfare that's also taking place in the physical, okay? Such as this world, the same world that we all are in. Then it states what? Against spiritual wickedness in high places. So when people read spiritual wickedness in high places, they want you to automatically think that they're talking about the heavens. No, they're talking about the high places in this world. Who are the high places of this world? Okay? King James Version just simply say the rulers, okay? But now let's go to the Geneva Bible that predates the King James Bible, and let's see what the Geneva Bible says. Let's go there. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're still coming from the BibleGateway.com, but this time we're reading Ephesians 6 from the 1599 Geneva Bible, okay? But now, let's stroll down to verse 12. Okay, as before, up top of the screen, highlighted in blue. And it states, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against what? Principalities, against powers, and against what? The worldly governors. Okay? The worldly governors. We're going to go over that term, governors, in the Black Law Dictionary and everything else. We can get better understanding of what's going on. But again, against the worldly governors, the princess of darkness of this world. So who's the prince of darkness of this world? Who is that, guys? We're going to go over that as well. Then it states what? Against spiritual wickedness, which are in the high places. Okay? Difference. Which are in the high places. The high places such as what? The worldly governors. As you all can see, we know the worldly governors are what? In the high places. And we're going to prove that as well, okay? But now let's go over the definition for the term principality, since we're against principalities. Let's go there. Okay, so we're coming from Merriam-Webster's.com for the definition of principality, which is singular for the word principalities, which is plural of the word principality. Okay, as you all can see highlighted in blue. Let's pick this up at number one. Number one states what? A, the state. Now, what I've been telling you guys about the state, right? My pitch has never changed. I've been on here for 7 years almost. And I've been saying the same thing. You must fight the state. Why? Because this state is the one that's coming after you guys. All right. Also, office. What office of the state that's dealing with child support? You have the Child Support Enforcement Agency, but standing and acting on behalf of the Child Support Enforcement Agency is the attorney, which is what? The office of the Attorney General. Also, what? Or authority of a prince. Remember, the scripture said what? The princes of this world, of the princes of darkness of this world. As you all can see, it's all making sense. It's all adding up. Okay? Know your enemy. We're finding out who our enemy is. But let's continue. Let's read B now. B states what? The position or responsibility of a principal. Now, let's click on the definition. Let's go over the word principle. Let's click on the word principle before we can go over the definition for principle. Let's go there. Okay, so now let's pick this up at the very top where it states principle. One, where it states A, right here. It states a person who has control and authority or is in a leading position such as a chief or head man or one man. Remember that, guys. A chief. A chief is simply what? The same and is interchangeable with the prince of darkness of this world. They're one and the same, guys. I'm going to prove that as well. B, the chief executive officer of an educational institution. C, one who engages another to act as agent, subject to general control and instructions. Remember that, guys. So remember C as well, but let's continue. Specifically, right here, the person from whom an agent's authority derives. D, the chief or an actual participant in the crime. So again, look at that term chief again, but let's continue. E, the person primarily or ultimately liable on a legal obligation. Remember E, guys. We're going to go over that right after we finish reading F. F, a leading performer, star. But again, E, it states what? The person primarily liable, right? Primarily or ultimately liable on a legal obligation, right? So now let's find out who is the principal in the child support case. Let's go there. All right, so we're coming from the Black Law Dictionary for the term agency, and it reads, a relationship between two persons by agreement or otherwise, where one, the agent, may act on behalf of the other, the principal, and bind the principal by words and actions. Okay, guys? It gets no simpler than that. So the agency is the principal. If the agency is the principal, the agency is the one what? Legally obligated for what? The legal duty of support. That's why the programs exist, guys. If they wasn't obligated, there will be no child support program. And it's just that simple. But what they do is child support is simply a recuperation of taxpayer funds because it's the taxpayer's obligation and legal duty to do so. So they come after the father, trick the father into believing it is his obligation. He goes into court arguing that fact, and by him arguing that fact, he adds on to the controversy, which gives the court jurisdiction, and the judge places him or forces him to take an alleged DNA test, or they'll refer him to the alleged acknowledgement of paternity that he so-called allegedly signed, and try to hold him to support obligations that way. But it's always been the state, which is the agency, which is the true principal in the court case, has the obligation for support. So remember, again, child support is simply recuperation of taxpayer funds. That's it. That's all. In order for something to be recouped, something must have been given. And it's just that simple, guys. So whose obligation is it to give? It's the state's obligation to give. So it's the state's obligation to support the minor children. I've been telling you all this time, guys. But now let's continue to go deeper. So let's go back to the scriptures and continue to put this thing together. Let's go there. Okay, so now let's pick this up at verse 12. We're right back at Ephesians chapter 6. Let's pick this up at verse 12, highlighted in blue. And it reads, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in high places, or in the high places, okay? So now, since we know what principalities mean, which means what, guys? The states office or the authority of what? The prince. But let's continue. It states what? Let's read it again, but this time we're going to replace principalities with the state, okay? To make it simple, let's replace it with the states. And it reads, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the states, against powers, and against the worldly governors, the princes of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in the high places. Okay? But now, let's get the definition for governors, since they say what? Against the worldly governors. So now let's go to the legal definition of the term governor. Let's see what governor actually means. Let's go there. Okay, so now, as you all can see, we're coming from the Black Law Dictionary. Let's pick this up where it states governor, highlighted in blue. Let's continue reading. It states what? The chief. Let me go pause right there for a minute. Remember, guys, I was telling you about the chief. We're going to come back to the chief and how the chief and the prince of darkness is basically the same. But let's continue on. It states what? The chief executive official of a state in the United States and territories of the United States, and also the chief magistrate of some colonies, provinces, and dependencies of other nations. Governors serve terms ranging from 2 to 4 years, are usually restricted to 2 terms in office, possesses veto powers. Here go the powers is also stated in the scriptures, guys, but hold on. Possesses veto powers, powers to recall special sessions of legislature, power to pardon and reprieve, and many other appointive, administrative, and financial powers. So again, guys, the governor is himself is the chief. Okay? So now, when I tell you guys that we're going to go back to the term chief, that's what I meant. So now let's go to the definition for the term chief out of the Black Law Dictionary. Let's go there. Okay, we're still in the Black Law Dictionary, but this time we're going over the term chief, highlighted in blue. And it reads, one who is put above the rest. Look at that word again. Principle, right? We just went over what principle means, but let's continue. Leading, head, eminent in power or importance, the best or most important or valuable of several, paramount of leading importance. That's what the chief is, guys. So now let's go back and read the scriptures in its entirety one last time, read it in its final form, and we will get the answer to find out who are we up against and who your enemy truly is, guys. So let's go back to Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12 to close this thing out. Let's go there. Okay, so again, we're right back at Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12, but we're going to again replace principalities with states, and we're going to also replace governors with chiefs for now, okay? And then after that, we're going to go over who the prince of darkness of this world is, okay? But it reads, 12, let's pick this up at the top. It states, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the states, against powers, and against the worldly chiefs, the princes of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in the high places, okay? So now let's find out who is the prince of darkness, all right? According to the scriptures, let's find out who the prince of darkness. Let's go there. All right, so now, as you all can see, we're coming from vocabulary.com for the term prince of darkness. The definition, let me zoom in. Definition of prince of darkness, now from Judeo-Christian and Islamic religion. Look at that term, guys. Chief spirit of evil. Then it states, and adversary of the Most High, tempter of mankind, master of hell. Synonyms: Beelzebub, devil, Lucifer, old Nick, Satan, the tempter, okay? So again, we see that the prince of darkness is in fact the chief of the evil spirit. To further prove that, let's go back to the scriptures to apply more pressure so we can see who we're really up against. Let's go there. Okay, so now we're going to pick this up at Luke chapter 11, verse 14. And it reads, very top, highlighted in blue, 14. And he was casting out a devil, and it was dumb. And it came to pass, when the devil was gone out, the dumb spake, and the people wondered. But some of them said, he cast out devils through what? Beelzebub, the chiefs of the devils. Okay? So they know who the chiefs of the devils is, just like what we read in the last definition of the prince of darkness. It stated Beelzebub, Satan, Lucifer. We just read it. But now let's go back and read the scriptures from Ephesians 6, verse 12, and let's replace governors with Beelzebub, okay? Or Satan, Lucifer himself. Let's finish this thing out, guys. Let's go there. Okay, so now we're right back at Ephesians 6, but let's pick this up at verse 11, and it reads, "Put on the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to stand against the assaults of the devil." Then it reads, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against" what? "The states, against powers, and against the worldly chiefs or worldly governors, or the worldly Beelzebubs, the Satanists of this world, against spiritual wickedness which are in the high places." That's how it exactly reads, guys. So we are up against Satan himself when you're fighting against these states. They are all working together. They are underneath Satan's authority, and that's why you're having such a hard time, because it's not just a spiritual attack, it's a worldly attack, and it's coming strong against your families. But look, that's all I'm going to do for today. I hope this was a blessing to someone. If you all need my help, hit me up in my email at yahismagnified@gmail.com. Let's get this right wisdom, this right knowledge, and this right understanding. With that being said, guys, put on the whole breastplate of the Most High. Stand firm. Stand on your square. Understand what's going on. With that being said, you all be blessed. And I say, shalom.
You ever look at music that you've written and look back at it and say, whoa, that surprised me?
I used to. I don't do that anymore. I don't know how I got to write those songs.
What do you mean you don't know how?
Well, those early songs were like almost magically written. Darkness at the break of noon, shadows even the silver spoon, a handmade blade, a child's balloon.
Eclipses both the sun and moon. To understand, you knew too soon. There's no sense in trying.
Try to sit down and write something like that. There's a magic to that, and it's not Siegfried and Roy kind of magic. You know, it's a different kind of a penetrating magic.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my end.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in a world we can't see.